Jayo Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari Jayo Radha Madhava Punjabi Om Ajnanatimrandasya Ginanjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasri Gaur Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam Pradhivachalam Pangum Mangayate Girim Yat Kripadamaham Vande Sri Gurudinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyeshwaram Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Prabhupada Vyasa Puja Mahamahotsav ki. So today is a very auspicious day. This day is called Nandotsava. It's the day where Nanda Baba, Nanda Maharaj, the father of Krishna, throws a big party. It's a big celebration. Because yesterday Krishna was born at midnight. And I don't know if any of you have ever participated in a birth of a child, but there's too much hectic action to actually celebrate. So the celebration is the day after, and that's the day, Nandotsava. And this is the day where Srila Prabhupada took his birth in this world. For what purpose? For what purpose? That's what we're going to discuss. Krishna and his devotees, they're never separate. They're always connected. They're always together. So when Krishna appears, he never appears alone. His father and mother came before him. His friends are there. His associates. So Krishna is never alone. If you see a picture of Krishna alone, that's not proper. It has to be devotees. Otherwise, not the right thing. So, Srila Prabhupada appeared in this world in Calcutta in 1896, also the same year where Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the spiritual master of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he sent his book, The Life and Precepts of Lord Chaitanya, to many universities and thinkers and writers around the world, including McGill University. And there's a saying that if you have 1 year time, you grow rice. If you have 10 years, you grow coconuts. And if you have 100 years, you grow people. Srila Prabhupada, he got up every night at midnight to translate 6 pages in order to give us the essence of the Vedic literatures. He sacrificed his sleep for that. How did you feel last night? We just sacrificed 1 night a year, right? Did you stay up till midnight? Yeah? How was it? Nice, huh? Amazing party. Especially when you get into the mood, right? Into the bhava. And you're like, okay, no more time, no more space, no more mental platform, just Krishna. Jai. I like that. But then usually the next day, it catches up, right? Today, you feel it a little bit? But Prabhupada kept going like this. Every night, he would get up at midnight, and he would translate for 2 or 3 hours, 6 pages. And in this way, he gave us over 80 books. Why? Because he was a visionary, because he understood that, Prabhuji, ekona, pore, okay? Because he understood that unless I give the foundation, unless I give the tattva, they will not be able to follow, they will not be able to understand. So, Srila Prabhupada gave us everything in his books. If we want to know Srila Prabhupada, we should study his books. You can meet him in his books. I first met Prabhupada in his books. In my boarding school in the Swiss Alps, I saw a book of Prabhupada, first canto Srimad Bhagavatam, and I looked at it. You know that picture with the spiritual world, all the Vaikuntha planets, Goloka. You know that one? The book that I'm talking about? Have you ever seen a book like that? No, right? Haven't seen a book like that. Won't see a book like that. This is wow. Wow, okay. Different idea. I get it. So, and I met Prabhupada in his book because Prabhupada had invested his realizations into these books. So sometimes people say, oh, we're very unfortunate. We did not meet Prabhupada. We missed him. But that's not true, because spiritual experience is not limited by time and place. Like in this world, there's different types of time. There's the linear time. You know, this class will end at 3 o'clock. Okay. So you can tell your mind, don't worry, 45 minutes, it's all over. I can walk out of here and I'm good. Then there is cyclical time, like different seasons that are occurring. Then there is eternal time. So spiritual experience is on the third. It's in the eternal time category, which means it's not limited by time or space. You can have the same spiritual experience right now that people had when Prabhupada lived, that people had when Krishna lived. It's available. The same experience is available. In fact, we're very fortunate. Why? Because we have so many realizations and so much wisdom that has been left behind by all these teachers that came from Krishna to Brahma, to Narada, to Vyas, to Shukadev, to the whole Guru Parampara. So actually, we're more fortunate now. We're more blessed now. How many people didn't know that Krishna was the Supreme Personality of Godhead when Krishna lived on the planet? Yes. How many? Only very few. Very few. Most thought he's a prince, he's a king, he's a cowboy, he's a mystic, he's a yogi, he's not conceivable. But very few knew him to be the Supreme Personality of God. But now, because we have all the realizations of the Acharyas, it's actually possible for us to have this, not just information, but this realization from all the devotees. So we're very fortunate. We're very fortunate. So in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 4th chapter, text 34, there's a very famous verse, and I'm going to read it. because we're supposed to read a little something from Shastra. Krishna says, Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam says, Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help one onto the right path. Nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master. And when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. So Srila Prabhupada himself, he exemplified this shloka. He was always very eager to hear from his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. In fact, he was noted amongst many thousands of disciples as the one who always listens attentively and he doesn't go away. You can make the experiment. Next time you sit with your friends, just pick up a Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam and start reading. What happens? What do you think what will happen?
They will leave.
They will leave, yes, they will leave. Or they will fall asleep. There's one mantra that puts people to sleep. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And then there's one mantra that wakes people up. Sarira Vidyajal Jadendra Taikala Prasadam. Okay, this is my time. So, because we are not that much in tune, but Srila Prabhupada, he was very alert in listening to his guru. He saw his spiritual master maybe a dozen times. And he was always very eager to hear him. So he had been noticed by his Gurudev. He said, yes, I will give him initiation because he likes to hear. Because the mercy of the Guru is only received through one organ. It's through the ear. Guru Karna Ra Dharam. You have to hear the Guru. You can't see who is Guru. So many people with big beard and big turban, right? Fancy kurta, making big words, nice show, song and dance, showing some magic, some mystical thing. You have seen?
Yeah,
many, right? Many, too many.
these days there are too many.
India, too many, yes.
Not only in India.
Not only India, everywhere.
Across the world.
Globalized, yeah. Nobody has a monopoly on this.
Finding real guru is very difficult.
Real guru is very difficult, because real guru means somebody who is actually close associated with Krishna. He actually knows what is Krishna's desire. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Srila Rupa Goswami is glorified as the one who has understood the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why Mahaprabhu invested his heart, his mercy, his empowerment into Rupa Goswami. So in a similar verve, in a similar way, Srila Prabhupada, he came to this world to explain Krishna's glories. And that's why he named it the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He could have named it the Prabhupada Movement, or, like so many others who name movements according to themselves. They put themselves on the big title. But no, he put Krishna there. And he said, I'm simply the servant. I am the one who carried the books. I'm the one who carried the books to the West. So today is a good day to take inventory. Okay, what is my realization and what is my relationship with Srila Prabhupada? Now, we may say I have my own teacher, I have my own guru, I have my own mentors, but everything that we know, everything that we do, it comes from Srila Prabhupada. And grandfather is actually more merciful than father, because father sometimes has to be a little strict. You've noticed? Yamuna knows, my daughter. Father has to be a little strict sometimes. But grandfather, no, it's all just, okay, take, right? It's all good. Goody, huh?
It's so much mercy.
So much mercy, yeah, so much kindness. And that's why grandkids and grandparents, they like each other a lot. You know why they like each other a lot? Because they have common enemies. You understand? You get it? Common enemies? Who are the enemies? If you're not laughing, you don't get it. Somebody has to translate, otherwise the joke gets lost in translation. You understand?
Yeah, we are the ones.
We are the one, yes, we are the one in between, exactly. You get it from both sides, right? You get it from both sides. Common enemy. It's his fault. He's wrong. So, the Prabhupada, he had a very, very loving father, Gaur Mohan De, and his mother. They were very much concerned that he becomes a Vaishnava, that he becomes a devotee of Radharani. And that was Prabhupada's father's, Gaur Mohan's, only wish. Every day he fed at least 4 sadhus. He had 4 or more holy people for lunch every day, even though he was a simple cloth merchant. Just had a simple shop where he's selling textiles. But he fed every day at least 4 people, and then he asked for blessings for Abai. He said, please bless my son to become a devotee of Srimati Radharani. He hired a Mridanga teacher, which is quite unusual. Why a Mridanga teacher for a small boy? It's a little over the top, right? But no, he had this very clear plan and idea. I want him to be able to be fully competent to spread Krishna's message. That was his desire. If we have somebody who's a screwdriver, this is a screw that needs a little attention. Okay. So many engineers here. So it's good if you keep things functional, keep things working. One time, Prabhupada, when he was very young, his father gave him a toy gun. A toy gun. And Prabhupada said, I want another gun. His dad said, no, 1 gun is enough. He said, no, I need 2 guns. Why 2 guns? He said, because I have 2 hands. I need 1 gun for each hand. Father said, no more. Father has to be strict, right? So Prabhupada, little Abai, he laid on the floor and he was stomping his feet and his fists on the ground and banging his head on the ground. And there was a little rock there and it hit him above the eyebrow and it left a little hole, a mark. And Prabhupada, when he was telling this story, he said, I was very stubborn back then and I'm still very stubborn now. My father relented and he gave me my 2nd gun. I always got what I wanted and I'm still getting what I want. Another time he told a story which shows that you have to be determined. If you want to get something, you have to be determined. You have to have determination. You can't just say, oh, okay, let's see, maybe perhaps, let's see how it goes. No, you have to be determined. You have to go for it. When they were building Victoria's train station in Calcutta, big monument, there was scaffolding, bamboo scaffolding, gerüst. And that was in his youth. He was a teenager. So with his friends, they made a wager. Okay, whoever climbs the scaffolding all the way to the top, he wins the wager. Prabhupada won. He went up there. So then the devotees said, oh, you're being very brave. And Prabhupada said, I am still very brave now. I came to your country, no friends, no money, no contacts. Nobody invited me. Because Prabhupada had faith that Krishna has a plan. And he was happy to be part of Krishna's plan. So these are all precious lessons that we can learn for ourselves. How to become more determined, how to become more dependent on Krishna, how to see the good in others. Prabhupada was willing to collaborate with anybody. There's so many people who came and so many people who went. But Prabhupada was willing to collaborate with anybody. Anybody who walked through the door, Prabhupada treated them like a future leader of the Hare Krishna movement. And there were some pretty funky people, some pretty wild people, some pretty intoxicated people. But Prabhupada, he chose not to pay attention to the deficiency. He chose to see the potential. Just like in a small child, if you have a small child cannot walk properly. So you may say, this is no good. Or you can say, no, keep going, come on, you can do this. Yeah, come. And then very soon, it will walk properly, right? So Prabhupada saw the potential in everyone. What are we seeing? Are you seeing the deficiency? Are we seeing the deficiencies in each other? Or are we seeing the potential in each other? And because Prabhupada had that largeness, that kind vision, that's why he encouraged everybody. Yes, you can do this. He said to people, okay, you go to Africa, you go to Russia, you go to China, you go to South America. He sent people who were in their mid-20s, your age, people of your age. Can you imagine? Somebody says, okay, go to China, go to Russia, go to Africa. Would you be excited by that? More frightened, right? More like, whoa, okay, maybe not before breakfast, okay?
Confidence. More confidence.
Yes, very confident. Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kaya Sudrida Nishchoy Krishna Bhakti Kaila Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. We still need a screwdriver. If somebody here knows where to find a screwdriver or a Swiss Army knife. Anybody has a Swiss Army knife here? That will do the job. So, if we want to be followers of Srila Prabhupada, what does it mean? Does it mean to chant his name? Yes, that's nice. It's nice to come here to celebrate Vyasa Puja. It's wonderful to make some offering. It's great to offer some flowers and some fruits. That's nice. But what happens the other 364 days of the year? Vyasa Puja is something that should happen every day. It's something that we should actually, Dhayam Stuvang at least 3 times a day, we should remember our Gurudev. At least 3 times a day, we should be mindful of that. So it's not just a yearly function, like, okay, once a year, there's New Year, there's Christmas, there's Janmashtami. Krishna is appearing as we speak in some universe. This is Nitya Lila. What does Nitya Lila mean?
What he's doing every day.
What he's doing every day, all the time. Every moment, Krishna is appearing in some universe. There's Janmashtami happening every moment. And there's Nandotsav happening every moment. There's Ras Leela happening every moment. But because we have linear vision, we think, oh, breakfast, lunch, and no dinner. Because old men don't usually eat at night. So, but if you have a more spiritual vision, then you will actually be able to perceive and appreciate Nitya Lila. That this is ongoing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime of spreading of the Sankirtan movement is ongoing. It's still happening as we speak. And we saw it yesterday. In Cologne. No, in Cologne, no Harina. But in Heidelberg, there was Harinam. So what's happening with the Harinam team here in Cologne? How often?
Once a week.
Once a week. Which day?
Saturday.
Saturday. What time?
12.
At 12, no.
So you went out yesterday?
No.
No.
It was
We have
Okay.
important.
Well, once a week. Okay, that's good. That's good. But it can be expanded. It can be expanded. It's a great city. So many people coming here. And if you go out, you'd be surprised how many people are actually appreciating Krishna consciousness, because Krishna is all attractive. And what is the art? The art is not to get in the way. The art is not to interfere. Just present Krishna and people will appreciate. At least those who are somewhat virtuous. I wanted to read another verse. Tasmat gurum prapadyeta jigyasu shreya uttamam Shabde pare chanishnatam brahmani upashramashrayam. Translation: therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of the bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusions of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material Prabhuji. Normal screwdriver, not cross. Just normal. Maybe there is one inside. Can you pull it out and put it back in? Is there? No. Such great personalities have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material consideration, should be understood to be bona fide spiritual masters. So what is the key word in this verse? Sutra. Give me the sutra. What is the essence of this verse? One word. Hello. Anybody out there? Now I got mini bar here. We got water, we got juice, we got coconut water, we got carrot juice. The key word is realization. Yes, realization. It's not enough to have theoretical knowledge. You have to have realization. Somebody asks you, what's your realization from this festival? What would you say? Huh?
Krishna consciousness.
Determination, Krishna consciousness. What else?
Happiness.
Happiness.
Mercy.
Mercy. Service. Algo más. Come on. Work with me, people. What is your realization? Cooperation, yes. This is good stuff. This is
Connection to the God.
connection to Krishna, yes. Rajavidya Rajaguyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Pratyakshavadamam Dharmyam Susukam Kartumaviyam. What does it mean? That this Krishna consciousness is the king of all knowledge, or it is the knowledge for kings. And it is joyfully performed. It's a happy process. It's not like, oh, okay, we got to go to the temple again. Oh, no, not again. Now they start to pray again. Oh, no. No, it's joyfully performed. It's joyful. Hey. Ta-da. All right. There we are.
So
That's it.
it's a good engineer.
That's all it takes. German engineer. Now it works. Because if you have to start messing with the microphone continuously during your talk, it's distracting.
Your mind is going.
And the mind is already distracted, so don't make it more difficult. That's why keep your phones away. That's why it's good to have real books. That's why it's good to have real books. Do you read real books or you read on your phone? What happens when you pick up your phone?
You get messages from your friends and family, you get distracted from them.
Mom calls you, right? Your friends call you. Then 3 hours later, you realize you still haven't done your homework. You still got a project pending for the boss, right? And then when does reading happen? Never. Reading happens never. But if you put your phone aside and you pick up a book, then what happens? You actually read. Do you still read books? Or you're just scrolling through the galaxy? So, Srila Prabhupada, he has put his realization, his heart, into these purports. And he has done this as an offering to his spiritual master. And we have this wonderful opportunity. You may have all the books in the world, but if you don't read them, you might as well be illiterate. Because they're no use to you. They may look good on a shelf. It's nice decoration, right? You got here some nice, Gokul, it's like butter pots, and right? That's what it should represent, right? Pots of butter. That's what it is. Yes. So we got this whole Vrindavan, this Braj atmosphere. It's a nice atmosphere, but we have to get into this bhava. Bhava grahi janardan. It's about emotion. It's about experience. It's not theoretical. You might say, okay, we're here in some hall, and in Köln, Taunusstraße. Just, not the brightest part of the country or the city. Or you can say, we're here in Braj. We're in Gokul. We're here with Nanda Baba, with Maria Soda, celebrating Krishna's birthday. This is Nandotsava. This is a joyous occasion. All depends on our bhava. So what is my pratyaksha? What is my perception? Depends a lot on what do I focus on? What is important to me? So we can change our bhava, we can change our experience according to our value structure, what is important, what is valuable to us. So Srila Prabhupada has given us these gems, these most precious realizations in the form of his purports. And we should read them. One time I was in Michigan, which is very close to the Canadian border, up near Mackinac Bridge. And on a parking lot, one father and teenage son, they got out of the car, and the man looked at me. I was carrying a stack of books. And he looked at me and he said, Prabhupada is my favorite author. And his son looked at him and went like, what? Who? What are you talking about that? So he had to explain to his son why he said what he said. And he said, I already have this book, this book, this book. Oh, those I don't have, so he took a few more books. You can also put it in a bucket of water. It always works. And then he took Japa beads, gave him the movie about Prabhupada's life. He was very happy. Very, very happy. It's like the end of the world. And he's a devotee. He's there. We don't know about him. The devotees are everywhere. Have you noticed? They're everywhere. So, today's a good day to make a sankalpa, to make a vow or a determined effort. Okay, I would like to read one verse a day. Can you read a verse a day? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Are you going to do it? Huh? Why not? Huh? Yeah, some people need peer pressure. Some people need peer pressure. They need others. Then they will do. Happily do. But without peer pressure, it doesn't happen. So that's the good side of peer pressure. But sometimes you don't have your peers around. You're by yourself. And then what? What happens when you're by yourself? Well, you know what happens when you're by yourself. Practice is what happens when no one is watching you. What do you do when no one is watching you? That is your practice. Now, Srila Prabhupada, every night, nobody was watching him. Every night he got up at midnight. Every night he translated 6 pages. Then he washed himself and he chanted Hare Krishna on his beads. Then he went for a morning walk. Then he gave Bhagavatam class, Guru Puja, greeted the deities, answered letters. Every day his door was open. People walked in and they asked him questions. Every day. So, Practice makes perfect. If you want to become good at something, you have to practice. You have to practice. You have to practice. You have to put in a constant effort. So spiritual life is not about memorization. It's not about ritual. It's not about externals. It doesn't matter where you're born, what your education or economic status is. It depends on realization. What's your realization? What is dear to your heart? What is important to you? That is what is driving you forward. And there are different motivating factors. In a mode of ignorance, there's fear. If you don't do this, you're going to die. If you don't do this, you're going to lose the job. If you don't do this, it's the end of the world. Have you met fear? Yes? Anybody? No, you don't have fear, right? No fear. We're Germans, right? We got to figure it out. No, so much fear in this world. Then, higher up, mode of passion. Incentive. The carrot. Okay, I give you 50 rupees more, you work for my company. People constantly on the move. Why? Money, 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 money. Mode of passion. Then mode of goodness, duty. It is my duty. I have to do this. But goodness is not good enough. Why is goodness not good enough? Why is it not good enough to be a good boy or a good girl? Anybody? Any idea?
Because of the goodness is still situated in the material world, I think. Like duty.
Yes. You're still in the material world, even if you perform your duty. And these three modes, they're never stagnant. They're always fighting for supremacy. There's always other factors and influences that come into play. So there is no pure mode of goodness in the material world. So we have to rise higher. Tatora justamo bhava kama lobadayas chaye chetaya tairanavidam sitam sate prasidati. Bhajantyananya manaso bhagavat bhakti yogataha bhagavat tattva vijnana mukta sangha sujati. We have to get out of the modes. Have you been in the modes of material nature? Have you had experience of the modes of material nature? Or you're so full of it, you don't notice it anymore? Huh? Because it became normal, the new state of normal. So spiritual practice is available to everybody. It is a practice, it is a process. And Srila Prabhupada has given us this process, and it is applicable regardless of time, place, and circumstance. It doesn't matter which country you're in. It doesn't matter which job you hold. It doesn't matter what phase of life you're in. Sometimes your relatives may complain, right? They say, oh, you've got a master's degree now. You should be making money. Why are you wasting time with this bhakti thing, right? This is for old people, isn't it? Huh? Then you ask them, what does it mean to be old? Besides bad digestion and looking for a seat, a place where to sit down. What does it mean to be old? What's the definition of being old? About to die, right? Now, who here can say that you're not about to die? Anybody? Parikshit had 7 days. We don't know if we have 7 minutes. There's no guarantee. And the death rate is still 100%. Even in Germany. With all the medicines, with all the technology, with all the engineering, it's still 100%. So, am I getting closer to my goal? Am I actually making progress? Well, that depends. The way you define progress is what defines your progress. How do you measure your progress? What's your yardstick? How you measure your progress? Srila Prabhupada's measurement of success was, whenever a new book is published, he felt like he conquered an empire. He said, I feel like I've conquered an empire because a new book came out in a new language. Prabhupada went to Moscow in 1971 for 5 days, and he walked near Moscow State University. It's up on the hill, and he was overlooking the city, and he said, in this city there will be 100,000 devotees. Now he went there on a 5-day tourist visa. He met one professor, one Indian boy and one Russian boy, and that's it, and he left. But because he had that vision, he's in touch with Krishna's internal potency. So he saw what is going to happen. And I told it, not that I'm a visionary, but I told the devotees in Germany 2 decades ago that if you don't go out and distribute books and do Harinam Sankirtan, then I will bring the Russians. And they said, no, don't bring the Russians. We're going to do it. Okay, all right, we're going to do it. But they didn't do it. And then what happened? Here are the Russians and the Ukrainians. Voila. And a great applause to all of you. A great applause to all of you. Because you're in a foreign country, you don't have the support of family, friends, and society, and still you're doing the Sankirtan Yajna. My respectful obeisances to you from all 10 directions. My heart goes out in appreciation. And it's not easy. It's not easy to be an immigrant. I'm a 4th generation Italian and German immigrant from Schwabenland and from north of Italy and to Switzerland. And so, it takes generations before people actually assimilate and they adapt to the local scene. But you have taken up the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and you're sharing this message with others, even in a language that's foreign to you. People speak to you in all weird kind of dialects. Like there was this young boy who turned to me and he started speaking to me in Ukrainian. And he thought I'm from Ukrainian because he's Ukrainian, so he thought I must be Ukrainian also. And so people start speaking to you in their local dialect. And they expect you to understand. So Prabhupada came to the US and he had a very difficult task to translate from Sanskrit into English. Yet, following the instruction of his spiritual master and following the teachings of the Bhagavatam says, Tatvag Visarga Janataga Viplavo Yasmin Pratishlokam Abadavapyapi Namanyanantasya Yashon Kintaniya Shrinvanti Gayanti Grinanti Sadava. That this message of the Bhagavatam, even if it is imperfectly composed, but if it is given with sincerity, with devotion, then the people who are actually virtuous, sadhava, who are truthful at heart, they will appreciate it. Even if there's some technical flaw. Somebody may say, oh, this is wrongly pronounced, or this, not the right verb, or the right ending of the syllable, not the right conjugation. But that's a detail. That's a detail. So when we understand principles, then we can fill in the details. We're very fortunate because Srila Prabhupada has given us this ISKCON movement where we have practitioners who can help us grow in our practice. We all need association of peers who help us to be better in our practice. Srila Prabhupada, he didn't have that. He was alone in the West. So what did he do? He took his disciples as his peers. He let them give class. He let them do kirtan. He heard them read, and then they did samvad. They discussed shastra together. He was not putting himself over and above everybody. One time he was giving a class in Uppsala, Sweden, and he was talking about Varnashram, 1st class, 2nd class, 3rd class, 4th class, classifications in society, and people were objecting and were saying, what, you think you're 1st class? You're above everybody else? Prabhupada said, no, I'm 5th class. I'm the servant of all the other 4 classes. The other man shut up. He was quiet. He sat down. So if we have a service attitude, with gratitude, with appreciation, with cooperation, then people will appreciate the message of Krishna consciousness. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for taking part in this Hare Krishna movement. Whether you're initiated or not initiated, the first supporters of Srila Prabhupada who helped him build this movement, none of them was initiated by him. They all had their Mayavadi gurus and yoga gurus and Kula gurus and all these different gurus, but they connected to Prabhupada's message, to his Vani, to his instructions, and they followed him and they supported him and they helped him expand Krishna consciousness. So formal initiation is a detail, an important detail, but a detail. And Shiksha is the main thing. Shushushro Shradadhanasya Vasudeva Gitaruchi Syan Mahatsevayo Vipra Punya Tirtani Sevana. Listen attentively with your heart every day. And that will have an indelible impact on us. It is heart-changing, this experience. So thank you. And today we're praying to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada that He may grant us a molecule of taste for hearing and chanting about Krishna, that we may have a molecule of humility to be always grateful for the gifts that we have received, that we may have a mountain of tolerance when it comes to tolerating difficult circumstances and to cooperate with each other. Srila Prabhupada said, your love for me will be shown in as much as you cooperate. Now here we have a good example of this. We have people from Russian, Ukrainian, German, Indian, and other types of backgrounds. And they're cooperating. Why? Because there's bhakti, there's love, there's Krishna in the center, devotional service to Krishna. So all these other things are not actually an obstacle. They're enhancing the flavor. There's more ras, as you will see in the feast. Why is there more ras? Because you have all the different flavors, all the different cuisines, all the different realizations, and they come together. So it's a beautiful offering for the pleasure of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. So Vyasa Puja is not just a festival of flowers or words. It's a festival of gratitude, of appreciation, and of rededication. Okay, what would I like to do for the next year? Make plans today. It's a good day. What is my mission? What can I do to be a part of Srila Prabhupada's mission? Have you noticed that when you have a mission, you have more energy? If you're on a mission, you're more empowered. And if you don't have a mission, you're like, let's see, whatever. And usually not much happens. So if you're looking for a mission, join the Sankirtan movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We're hiring. We're hiring. The benefits are out of this universe. Go to the Loka. It's a great opportunity. You don't have to go and get more degrees or, do a bunch of tests. What is the price? Lolium. You have to want it. Intense greed. I want this. I need this. This is good for me. So we should take example by Srila Prabhupada, by his determination. When he met his Gurudev, he was mid-20s. He just had a son. He was working in pharmaceutical industry. And in the first meeting, his guru, before he could even get up, he said, you're an intelligent young man. You should preach in English language. It will be good for you and it will be good for the world. Boom, first meeting. He just got his lifetime mission. It took him 43 years before he went on that boat to America. 43 years. Lifetime in preparation. So big things will take a little longer than a week. So be patient. Don't think if it doesn't happen this month or this year, it's all over, it's all finished, it's all kaput. No? Spend good time in meditating. That was his prayer. How can I do? How can I do? How can I do? Prabhupada tried many things. Many things did not work. But Prabhupada never gave up. He never gave up. He was tenacious. He was relentless. And he came through by Krishna's grace. Any questions, comments, or reflections? We got 5 minutes. And this is really nice. I'm really happy that you made this room a seminar room so we can have more space for festivals and functions. Yes?
But there is a microphone.
We got a few up here. I don't know how long the cords are. Maybe we have a cordless one.
Okay, doesn't it?
Just not coming. No, it's okay. Stay there.
I can speak loud. So thank you very much to listen to the lecture of the Sankirtan devotee. It's a great pleasure. You said that we should develop gratitude, and I would, if you allow, only to add one thing. Not only gratitude Certainly, yes. But we are also indebted. We are forgetting that we are indebted to Srila Prabhupada and to our spiritual masters, who want us to distribute books, to go on with this mission, and by the mission, to pay our debts.
Thank you.
Back. That's what I wanted to say because it's very actual, yes?
Sure.
That's right.
Hari
Thank you
Bol.
very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your example of dedication to the mission. The whole world is here in Cologne. Everybody is here looking for something, right? So why not go out there and give him Krishna in the form of these books? They're very attractive. And people are willingly receiving these books. Now I know it takes a little bit of stepping outside a comfort zone. But it's a good experience. Like in the last few days, Jamastami, you fasted, at least to some extent, right? Did you have realization because you stepped out of comfort zone? You did things that normally you would not do, right? And you saw, hey, it's possible, right? It's daring, but I did it. I'm still alive. I fasted, I'm still alive. Huh? I was singing and dancing for hours. I'm still alive. I went out on the street. I gave somebody a book. It works. That's called realization. There's no realization without sacrifice. So we have to apply ourselves. And for that, we're very grateful that Srila Prabhupada showed us by his own examples. He was 70 plus years old. He was doing all these services that we're doing right now. He was doing them single-handedly. Cooking, cleaning, writing, publishing, distributing, managing, fundraising, canvassing, preaching, everything. One-man army. And it took over a year till one boy asked him, Swamiji, can I help you? And he said, yes. I thought nobody would ever ask. I thought maybe they're rich kids, you know? Maybe their moms and their maids did everything for them. They never had to do anything. But he was willing to do it till somebody would come and help. Other points? Please.
In my understanding, Krishna has sent us here with a purpose. And if we are doing our duties honestly, okay, and we are just fulfilling all the responsibilities, let's say in families and like towards our work life, of course it is linked to materialistic work. But now there are two paths, and I'm always in dilemma actually, whether doing the duties actually assigned by Krishna to us by sending us to earth. And the other path is, of course, the bhakti path. How to maintain the right balance actually. Determination, he told, that is, of course, actually, these are the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, which we can follow.
Thank you for your honesty. Well, doing your duty, that's one part. But what is my actual duty? You see, every life form, they have families, they have children, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But in the human form of life, we have this great opportunity to actually do the ultimate good. Prema Pumartha Mahan, you know, our Purushartha Shiromani, the highest duty, which is self-realization. Actually ending this samsara, this repeated cycle of birth and death, and not be born again, go back to the spiritual world. And that's only possible if you take up a spiritual practice. Because even if you do Varnashram perfectly, you live 100 perfect lives without any fault, without any sin, you become Lord Brahma. And that's a lot of headache. You got 4 heads. You know how much headache you can have if you got 4 heads? Imagine. And you're the original engineer. Everybody will blame you for everything that goes wrong. You have experience, right? Yeah. So you don't want to become Lord Brahma, right? You don't want to become the boss. It's better to... I was counseling one person from Latin America, from Ecuador, and he was saying, you know, his wife is a non-devotee, and she has a real problem with this whole idea of becoming a servant. So she said, I can't deal with that. You know, I don't want to be a servant, and I can't deal with this concept. And he asked me what to do. I said, tell her, we don't want to become a servant. We want to become the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. We don't want to become the servant. Now that should blow her mind, right? Now what's wrong in being the servant of Krishna or the servant of Krishna's devotees? Huh? You ever seen people picking up dog poop on the street? Yes. Huh? If you're not serving God, you're serving dog. Huh? Have you seen people washing their cars every week? Huh? Only the best for the car. Have you seen how shiny they are? The cars and the tires and the brakes, everything. Huh? Only the best for the car. Huh? Cutting their lawns, painting their fences, everything perfect. But because there is no spiritual practice, shunya, it's just, unless there is Ekala Ishvara Krishna, unless there is the big one in front, all your zeros are meaningless. But if you have Krishna in front, then it's all okay. It's all good. But make sure you have your priorities. And that's the key word, priorities. Not that we're negligent, not that we're cold-hearted or resentful, no, but we have to have our priorities. As Srila Prabhupada said, yes, I have family, I have children, and it is natural that you feel affection for them. But you have to have your priorities. Otherwise you get messed up and you make mistakes of judgment. You take something as to be exceedingly important and other things to be negligible, which we can see nowadays is happening. Why? Because a lot of us are not here just for bhakti, but we're here for other reasons. Chatur vidha bhajante mam janak sukritino arjuna arto jigyasuratarti gyanischa bharatarshava. There are four kinds of pious people. Those who are in distress, they're suffering. Those who are in want of money. Those who are curious. And those who really want the highest knowledge. Now, often it's a mixture of these. It's not like I'm purely in one category. They're different mixtures. But we should be able to evolve. We should be able to progress. And for that we need Sangha. Satsanga. Truthful association. People who say, hey, Joshi, where were you? I haven't seen you in 4 months. What happened? You know? Kya hai? What's happening? Oh, you made manager now. Okay, now what? Now you work 300 hours? You know? You get it?
Yeah.
Priorities. Okay. Thank you for your kind attention. Srila Prabhupada, Vyasa Puja ki. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Harinam Sankirtan ki. Gaur Panchakalpatarubhischa Kasnubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So now, there's going to be Arti, Korarti, Kirtan, and then Prasad. So stick around. And please meditate how to find your place in Prabhupada's mission. At least read one verse a day, chant some mala, and speak to somebody about Krishna. At least once a day. Something that's related to Krishna. And you will see, Krishna will do the magic. He will empower you. Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada.